Hey guys, it's Michelle. Uh, it's like almost 4 in the morning. I'm going to Chicago tomorrow after I get off work. Hopefully I'll just sleep the whole car ride there. Um, and I just wanted to make you one more video, whew, for the Transition 101 series that I'm doing. Um, so this video is actually more about mental stuff than like how to dress or wear your makeup. Trans Dyer, the trans girl on YouTube, the YouTube user Trans Dyer, who I was talking about in one of my previous videos, made a very similar video to what I'm making right now. Um, and I completely forgot to even mention this sort of thing. And it's basically just like starting your transition. In fact, she has a video called Starting Your Transition. I might link it with this one. Um, and basically it's about before you even, start buying makeup or wearing, girl clothes, just like how to mentally prepare yourself for this transition. Because they call it a transition for a reason. It's a very slow process. You're not going to just be like boy one day, girl the next. And really I think it's important to take every step at a time because not everybody ends up, if you might, for some girls, you might think that your end outcome is going to be you with a vagina and you're just a woman forever. But if you don't take the necessary steps, then you don't learn more about yourself. You don't learn more about what gender really is, and you don't really learn about who you are and who you're becoming. Because you can't just jump into it. You really can't. So, just a little bit of I'm going to give you my perspective and how I started my transition. And it's all pretty much documented through all my YouTube videos, so if you watch them, you can kind of see how I go through each of these phases or most of the phases that I'm talking about. So, my transition pretty much started cryptically, I guess, my senior year in high school, when I was first introduced to the idea of what being transgender meant and like what a transsexual really was. Because I'd heard of those terms before. I knew what a tranny was, but I didn't realize how relatable it was. I didn't realize how much it made sense to me. And it was in my psychology class that year, and we talked about it one day, and my teacher told us a story of like this little boy who was obsessed with mermaids and who dressed as a girl, growing up, and he became he was a transgender boy, and I related so well with him. It was kind of scary to me because I was like, oh my gosh, like I was that little kid. Um, but I didn't do anything. That's about all it was. I didn't think much more of it. I was just trying to get through high school. And at the time, I was pretty much just like a gay guy. When I asked my friends about it, they say that, yeah, you were my gay best friend in high school, but you didn't come off so much gay as you did, like, womanly. And I'm not just saying that to be like, see, I've always been a girl. But, really, I wasn't, like, all flamboyant out there. There's a huge difference between a gay boy and a trans girl. Gay boys don't have a whole lot of conflict with their male gender identity. They like being male. They like other males. They like that they relate with other males in that way. Whereas my problems were always, I want to be as feminine as I can be. I want my hair long. I don't want people to know that, I grow body hair and this, that, and the other. And I found it kind of a compliment when people mistook me as a girl. You'd think that'd be a bit of a hint to me, right? But it wasn't until college, my 1 year at college so far, until I go back this fall, that I really started to kind of explore my gender identity. I did drag for the first time, and that was huge for me. I was like, oh my gosh, I look hot. People think I'm a hot girl. I'm performing. I'm getting all this attention. This is awesome. It's so validating. And this is when I actually started my YouTube account. Actually, no, it was a year later. After around a year later after my first drag show. And around this time, I was pretty androgynous. I wore skinny jeans and tight t-shirts on a regular basis. My hair was long. I think I was shaving my arms and legs on a regular basis. And I was in a very androgynous place. Like, people really didn't know. It wasn't, some people thought I was a girl at first, but then after talking to me, they kind of thought I was a boy, but they might not have been really sure. It was a really uncomfortable place, but at the time, it was good for me. I was really comfortable with it. I kind of liked tricking people, not having them, not know. But over time, over the next few months, like actually a year later, was when I really got fed up with it. I was like, I really like it when they recognize me as a girl, and I don't like coming off male in any sort of way. I don't like being recognized as male. I don't like being called a man. I don't. And it was then that I kind of realized I was transgender. But back a few months. So I was doing the drag thing. I was androgynous, and it was awesome. And it wasn't until I had a conversation with one of my online friends who I had a huge crush on. And he's a gay guy. And, I was hitting on him, and he was like, look, I like you, but you're like a girl to me. And I've heard that so much. Like, I've said in other videos that I've been on a lot of dating sites. Through a lot of my adolescence and young adult life, I've been on dating sites. And before being on trans dating sites, I was on just, like, gay dating sites. And I always ran into the problem that guys would be like, you look like a girl, I'm not attracted to you. And it made sense to me. Like, I wasn't, like, offended. I was just like, well, I mean, yeah. I look like a girl, kind of act like one. Gay guys aren't really into me. But that didn't mean that straight guys were into me, because they thought of me as a gay guy. So it was a real hard place. And so when my friend was like, I'm sorry, I'm just not into you. I mean, I really had a meltdown, like, in my dorm room. I really was, like, on the floor, kind of, like, crying into my knees. And it was that moment that I was like, I have to figure this shit out. I have to figure out what is going on with me, and what is this? And so for the next few months, I was, like, hardcore researching gender identity. And for a little bit, I was like, well, maybe I'm gender queer. Maybe I'm just, like, androgynous. Maybe that's what I am. But the more I researched and the more I looked into myself and the things that and was realistic with myself and who I want to be, I realized that, you know what, I'm transgender. But I didn't know what to do with that. So I continued to take little steps. I was trying to be honest with myself. And I remember one of my big first little, oxymoron or whatever, transition moments was deciding to get straight bangs. And I was like, and I got a lot of opinions from people. I was like, what do you think of straight bangs? And everyone was like, I mean, I don't think you'd look bad, it's just you're gonna look like a girl. And I was like, well, you know what? I like that idea. So I got them. And for the most part, I was happy with them. Now I wouldn't get them because I don't think they're flattering on my face shape. But I miss them a lot. I miss the idea of them more than I do how I actually looked with them. But anyway. So I got those straight bangs. And from there, I started to take even smaller steps. And this is what your transition is. It's just small steps. You start with girlier clothes, like tighter clothes, more form-fitting stuff. You wear your hair different. I started to wear, like, a little foundation, some mascara, a little eyeliner. And this was all within a few months. Like, first it was like, I'm wearing some foundation. And then it was, I'm going to add mascara. And then it was, I'm going to add eyeliner. And I don't think I was regularly wearing makeup necessarily, But by the end of my freshman year, into the summer, my parents kind of saw that, you know, I was embracing this girly side of myself. I'm sorry, this is going to be a really long video. And I know I shouldn't be making super long ones, but I think this one's really important to make long in this series. And so it was, when was it? Let's see. This was like August, after, like, I came back from college, had summer break, and was just like, I'm not going back to Truman. I'm going to do other stuff. And if you watch my videos, you'll see what I was doing or what I wasn't doing with my life. And it was that winter, actually. Not that August, but it was that winter that I was just like, you know what? I need to tell my mom I'm transgender. I'm ready to take the next step, which was therapy and then hormones. So I was like, Mom, I'm transgender. She was like, well, yeah. There was some more emotions in that, but in that moment, but really she knew and she was fine with it. She was, obviously a little concerned. She was like, this is a hard, she was more concerned that this was going to be a hard decision and a hard life for me and what this would entail, but I was ready. I was like, you know what? I was able to accept that I was gay. I'm just going to continue accepting who I am until I am the person I want to be. And that's what I believe everybody needs to do. Just don't lie to yourself, completely embrace who you are, every ounce of you, because that's the only way you're going to be really happy. And from there, I couldn't find any therapists in my city where I live, so and for like 6 months I was just frustrated. And then I decided to go to this therapist in Kansas City. And I got on hormones, and my transition really started off. I mean, it started before, but it really, boom. I was like, I'm a girl now. So, your transition, I would not suggest that you buy all your makeup and you buy a bunch of girl clothes and you start dressing and wearing makeup right off the bat. You need to take small steps. And with each of these steps, you need to make sure that the people who are important to you in your life, the people you are close to, whether that be friends and family or whoever, they need to be a part of every step. When you start wearing just mascara, they might be like, are you wearing mascara? And you'll be like, yeah. Because they need the chance to take the transition with you. They need the chance to accept you for every step so that when you finally reach your final step, they will be there with you. And it's not going to be a huge night and day difference for them. That's very important. I think, and everybody's different, obviously. Your parents might not be super supportive and accepting, or your friends might not be like that, and everybody's struggle is different. And I will say I'm pretty blessed, I'm pretty lucky. My transition is going pretty smooth, but I feel like because it is, I can be here to give you some guidance. I'm not afraid to put myself out there, and I hope I'm not coming off conceited and bragging, because I really just want to help, because you guys messaged me and you asked me for help, and I really do want to help you with, not that I'm an expert, but I've been through some steps, and I've seen what good has come from some steps that I've taken, and I really want you guys to hear that. I also like talking a lot, so this is perfect. But you do not need to rush the transition. I know a lot of you are like, I want to be a girl now, but really, it takes time. And every step, you will know when you're comfortable enough to go to the next step. And beyond just needing to take small steps so that you mentally and emotionally can get through it, you don't want to look crazy. I will tell you straight up, if you throw on a wig and some red lipstick and a dress and you just go, and you have not studied, womanhood, you haven't found yourself in it yet, you will look like a stereotypical crazy tranny. And you don't want that. You want to pass and be as gorgeous as you can be. Yes, some people are going to be able to pass better than others. Some people probably could put on that wig and that dress and go to Walmart and no one would clock them. But some bitches is lucky. I could not have done that. It's just starting out. If you watch some of my older videos, I mean, I might have had long hair and it might have been pretty effeminate, but I would not have just like passed walking in drag. I wouldn't have. People have been like, that's a drag queen. That's not completely true. If I didn't open my mouth, people, from certain angles, people would be like, oh, that's a girl. But then, you hear what I'm saying, though. Take small steps. And, not that I would suggest this for everyone, but it was important for me, and still is, that I get an objective opinion about how well I pass. And as much as your friends and family are helpful and can be like, oh, you look good today, or yes, you do pass as a girl, they know you and have known you and are going to be a part of every one of your steps. So their objective opinion of you is biased. Like, they might think of you as a girl, they might really do. They might really think of you as a girl, but that isn't representative of how everyone else is going to see you. Because not everyone else loves you and cares about you and knows you. And the people who have the best objective opinion are strangers. So, and I'm too much of a scaredy cat to just like, go on the street and, starting my transition, I would not have just been able to go out and face people's opinions right off the bat. And like I said, I would not suggest doing this for everybody. I'm desensitized to the internet. Penises don't scare me. But chat roulette really helped me. Because I could sit on there and people are going to be brutally honest with you. And you don't even have to say anything. You just sit there, and if they think you're a chick, they're going to ask for your boobs. If they think you're a dude, they're going to be like, why do you have long hair, you hippie? Or if they don't know, they're going to be like, what the fuck is this shit? And yeah, it did hurt my feelings for a bit. But in the long run, I felt like the objective opinion I got from them really gave me a good kind of outside view of how I look to the public, I don't know why I added that little tidbit in this video. This video is about starting your transition. Please do not start getting on chat roulette and getting your feelings hurt. I just thought I'd mention that as part of my transition. I don't even know why I'm having such a hard time talking right now. But yeah, TransDyer made a video very similar to this, and I just was like pretty inspired, and I was like, oh my god, I completely forgot to mention that. And this is very important to me and my viewers, and I really hope that even if you can't watch all of this in one go, just like watch the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes. I should have added this at the beginning of the video, but I'm hoping I'm not forgetting anything. But really, start your transition slow, and I would suggest researching, and looking at other, videos of trans women who've gone through this and who can give you advice. And it'll be fine. I promise. Just be honest with yourself and with every step that you're taking, and make sure that you are going about it as safely and as effectively as you can, because no one wants to go out in the world with, no one wants to be that crazy tranny, and I don't think we have to be. I don't think anybody has to be. I think it's just a matter of studying and self-reflection and taking those baby steps. So that's all I really had to add. I'm really nervous about surgery, but it'll be great. Okay, guys, I'll try to make another video when I don't look ridiculous and swollen. So, bye-bye.